Broadcasting live from the mixed-up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Cross Keys Tournament here on Zelda Speedruns. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic. Joining me today on commentary is Jinxie Girl. Jinxie Girl, how you?
Hey, happy to be here. Excited for this race.
Yep. So, here today we have In the Name of DT versus Arborelia. This is a Losers Bracket Round 2 match. One of these runners is going home today, and who knows who it's going to be.
Yeah, these races have been so close lately. I feel like everyone I've commentated has come down to like 2 minutes. I had one come down to 6 seconds. So they have definitely been super exciting and super fun to commentate.
All right, so we will be underway shortly. This is going to be a cross keys race, as you know. And of course, for those of you who don't know what's going on, the cross keys means that entrances are randomized between both worlds and the keys are randomized. We got all sorts of things to look for today. And we're off. DT rocking the cursor sprite. That is some...
Wow, Fire Rod in the Sanctuary today.
Alright, right off the bat, starting from Sank. It's an interesting strat because you don't know where you're going to come out at, but Arborelia seems pretty well versed for that. We find a connecting cave at the Lumberjack house. Not going to follow it through just yet. Meanwhile, DT going up to the uncle, and there's Kakariko Well, which is nice, and he did get the bombs from Link's house, so he will be able to get all 5 of those out.
Definitely nice to find Kakariko Well in a very convenient location. Ice Palace hanging out at Hyrule Castle today.
And the Fire Rod's in Sanctuary. Oh boy. I'm smelling something real early required in Ice Palace there.
Oh yes. Mimic Cave in the back of the Lost Woods today. And Ganon in the Lost Woods as well.
Well, there we go. At least we know where that is. It's going to be real quick to find. Now, we do have the Sanctuary at the Lumberjack tree. Now, that could pose a problem if, one, we don't find the Hyrule Castle small key, or people, don't steal a key from the basement.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see if one of our runners decide to do that with the save scum.
Alright, so both runners now heading for the well. DT did pick up the shuffle in Kakariko Well, which means he's going to come down here. One, he's farming bombs, and two, he can go ahead and do this this check while he's at it.
Yeah, this is a pretty nice check to get off early, just because it's easy to forget about it. Just a shovel for his troubles. I'm gonna ignore that today.
Disrespecting the shield.
Yeah, I think I said just a shovel for our efforts, which should be used as a weapon. I don't understand why you can't hit things with the shovel.
And DT goes 0 for 4 on the 50-50 bomb drops there, which feels pretty bad. Ooh, Paradox Cave, top entrance there at the Kakariko chest gambling game.
Yeah, that is a very nice find. That's 7 items, but getting past those Moldorms in the beginning can be a bit trolly, especially early game.
I thought you were going to say something else, but yeah. Alright, so just some fairies in 2 different locations, the right side of the race game and the Lake Hylia shop. The library today has rupee farm cave, which is kind of nice. And we've got a dark room at the Lake Hylia Fortune Teller.
Yeah, that rupee hoard is not terrible at all to find because you do have that bottle vendor that you can sometimes forget because you don't have a lot of cash heading to Kakariko the first time.
Alright, Light World Hype Cave is the Pyramid Fairy today with a piece of heart, and we've got a Mire Key. Mire Key's super not that useful. But it's nice to have. And DT is actually going into Paradox Cave and manages to get down there. He's not going into the cave area. It's the Kakariko Tavern, which would have been his very next entrance check, I'm sure. Now, if I were DT right now, I would blow this up and go down and go buy bombs.
Oh yeah, killing those mini moldworms in the next room is rather trolly in itself, and with one bomb I just don't think it's gonna happen. Maybe he's just gonna check the
maybe
items and save and quit.
Yeah, maybe he's just gonna or take the death or whatever it is to get him out of here. Oh, he's having a hard time hitting that switch, but he makes it to the back. There's red rupee, boots! Some people might inquire as to what those are. And I think he just now noticed that he doesn't have another bomb. Oh, and he makes it past another red rupee and a bug net. So the boots being the main item there. Also a pod key in the lower portion.
Wow, those early boots just make traversing so much easier.
Alright, and DT finds that that connector as well. And yes, if I'm not mistaken, the bunny sprite for the cursor is in fact Clippy. So DT finds out about Ganon the easy way. Arborelia is finding Paradox Cave from the other entrance. It looks like you're trying to traverse the Dark World without the Moon Pearl. Would you like some help with that? Oh, I am losing my mind. All right.
That was pretty great. DT wasting no time doing those boot checks. Very interesting.
Now, unfortunately, you won't be able to check the King's Tomb entrance, as we would need a couple of impressive items to get there, but Arborelia is going to get these boots as well. We'll get to see what's in the fairy drop down. And that is Uncle, who has a Turtle Rock small key.
I always hope to find Uncle in the Lumberjack location, just to make sure that Aga 1 isn't required. Although Hyrule Castle is kind of nice as well, because you could find the key and get back there. Swamp Palace Big Key is in Ganon's Tower today.
Alright. At least it's not the small key.
Yeah. I think I'd definitely like a hint for the small key instead of the big key.
True.
But
And of course,
we're not gonna
Ganon's Tower could be super accessible. Right. There's another connector for DT. It's the Super Bunny Cave over at the Witch. Now, Arborelia, I believe, got to East Death Mountain via the bottom of Paradox Cave. Came out the bottom. And we've got a bottle with a B and the small key to Thieves Town.
Yeah, we're finding a lot of connectors very, very early, and Eastern Palace on Arborelia's side.
Ooh. Alright. Alright, we got ourselves a few checks we can do. Now, of course, only 4 checks are available, and only 3 are in logic. But when you find it this early, you might as well go for it.
Ooh, and the flute!
Alright, so we have duck times. DT going for the bomb underneath the bonk rocks here. Is gonna repeatedly farm this bomb, it looks.
Yeah, and the bomb hut is just right down there in Kakariko Village, I think, too.
Whoops. Well,
Big key to Eastern in Eastern.
What?
Yeah.
Excuse me? What have you done?
That has to be one of the trolliest things to find in Eastern Palace, just because you really want to put off doing that until you have that big key in the bow. Ooh, and back of T-Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The big chest entrance, at least, on DT's side.
Now, with the boots, it's actually quite easy to bonk into the middle section there of Turtle Rock, if you want to. You can just bonk from the left side of that room over the rail. Just hold left. Well, Arborelia now knows that they don't have to check the bonk rocks near Sank. And Dark Palace has a small
Moon Pearl in Eastern.
Gross. Well, at least that means that DT probably won't be putting off Eastern forever. Because there's no other... You know, the Moon Pearl will be a pretty big roadblock for a lot of things, usually.
Yeah, definitely. Another dark room hanging out in the blacksmith hut. And we have the last thief. So I believe that means Lumberjack is going to be behind Aga 2 today.
Alright, Arborelia finishes off Eastern Palace.
Pretty safe to say Eastern Palace definitely has all the goods today.
Arborelia did get a little bit bodied there on East Death Mountain, did leave an entrance unchecked.
Yeah, early game traversing Death Mountain is just rough. And we've the potion shop hanging out in Kakariko Village today. That is a nice location.
There you go. And DT does have a bottle with a B in it if he wants to ditch it for potion purpose. Arborelia is going to go and check the connector near that was in Lumberjack house. This will be the first time we see the other end of this thing.
Yeah, I definitely would feel a lot more comfortable checking connectors with that Moon Pearl so you don't get in a gross spot. Of course, that's a gross spot. But we do have Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, Ganon's Tower found at the chicken hut, actually. So we can check 3 things. We can actually acquire the thing on the torch here, which happens to be bomb.
Oh, we do need those bombs at the moment, so not a bad find, I guess.
But that will, in fact, do it for Ganon's Tower. Can't really do anything else here. Not gonna lie, I have tried to move my mouse a few times looking at DT's screen.
Find myself doing that as well. And we are going to get our first look at Hyrule Castle. Or at least the connectors.
Both runners dipping in, DT immediately dipping out from the right side.
Not a bad connector. That's kind of a trolley area to get to. Don't hate it, especially without the glove coming there. And Vanilla Ice Rod Cave.
Okay. Just 10 arrows, but still nice to find. And DT checking the left side finds Ice Palace entrance, and there's Clippy for you. And I believe we saw a crystal over on Skull Woods.
Looks like Arborelia is going to set up that save scum in Hyrule Castle. I like this play because I want to know what's back there.
Mm-hmm. And with the fire rod, it's fairly academic to get to the back here. Deciding to take a slight detour. It looks like maybe to go check the entrances. Video games indeed, and thank you for the subscription pack. I don't know if you're seeing the tracker on Arborelia's screen, but I want to find that piece of software.
Yeah, definitely.
I know the audience isn't seeing it, but it's a really interesting thing which allows for drawing lines and showing connectors and stuff. So, kind of.
Yeah, it definitely looks nice. I liked it when I first saw it, and I didn't even know it did all that fancy stuff. DT not safe scumming that key, so we're going to get to see what's in Zelda's chest and probably what's in the back on Arborelia's side. Just a heart piece, and gives him an
unfortunate... Oh, he is safe scumming the key.
Nice.
Turns out he found literally nothing in the front and had saved fairly recently, so...
Oh, we're going to get a fake flipper on Arborelia's side.
Yeah, now this is a fake flipper without 500 rupees, so it does mean that the Zora play is not going to happen. But going to Hobo never hurt nobody.
Especially if it's that hammer. That would be nice to find. Hammer or mirror early in Cross Keys is so nice.
Alright, so it looks like DT is going to go back to the basement, pick up a key.
And just $20 off the Hobo today.
And the blue screen of actual death.
Yeah, this is such a well done sprite. I enjoy watching it as you progress through the game, how neat they did the animations and everything. It's just a really fun sprite to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the top of
Spectacle Rock Cave, I believe.
Thank you. Struggling there with a big key.
Ooh,
very
big key
interesting.
Inside. Unfortunately, no way to bomb jump from that side. You could do some sick hovers.
And just a heart piece on the Zora ledge today, so nothing important there, but we don't have the 500 to check Zora at the moment.
In fact, if I were Arborelia, I would be tempted to go in here and attempt a sick hover. And if I don't get in, whatever, I just fall in the hole.
Castle Tower small key at the Dark Cross today.
Alright, DT once again making his way through the back. The next part is a little bit tricky. Arborelia is finding, or has found the, DT has missed the torch in the room with the rat, so he's just gonna have to pull it out of nowhere, and there he goes!
Wow, finding that ledge is really nice in Cross Keys. Unfortunately, without that mirror, you can't do the other two checks, but it's good to know. And DT heading to the back like a pro. Both Castle Towers.
Well, something tells me, just throwing this out there, that the Hyrule Castle small key is available somewhere.
Oh yeah, as well as that lamp.
Well, because the only other way to get to the back of Escape is through Castle Tower.
Yeah, that is definitely some messed up logic there. But typical of Cross Keys.
Alright, DT is now heading to the Lake Hylia area. We're going to get to see some of the same checks that Arborelia made.
Pretty sure DT has found just about every connector in the game so far.
Well, I mean, there's that one, which is kind of one of my favorites.
Yeah, that is a really nice one to find, especially if you have that mirror. That is a lot of checks.
Yeah, the mirror is in fact real. Mirror is probably the most powerful item in Cross Keys.
Oh, definitely. It just makes checks so much nicer. And we have the lumberjack, or the blacksmith hanging out down in the reservoir. That's not a terrible location for them either, because that is a flute spot, and at least Arborelia has that flute so far.
Alright, DT finds more fairies in the canyon location. I think it's called Desert Fairy in the spoiler log, but I always call it Canyon. And I think, so I do have something prepared for this flute situation, but I think I'll save it for DT. Mainly because I didn't notice it was happening until it was already happening.
And bottle vendor with his small key to pod. Found a couple of pod keys already. I have to say, this MSU is just phenomenal.
I didn't realize we were playing Golden Sun music. Oh, if only I knew what the duck song was there, I'd make something else up. But,
I'm definitely enjoying the dramatic drums when we go into a dungeon area.
there we go. Arborelia does what I talked about a minute ago. Bonks into the Turtle Rock area. I don't think that bonk is in logic. Now, bonking in general is usually in logic, but bonking over a barrier like that, I don't know if it is.
Yeah, I don't think, but I think it's a good play because I like information.
Aurelia is getting snuck up on by those skulls, and those skulls are not friendly. They deal a significant amount of damage.
And take forever to kill.
Indeed.
They're like the cockroaches of Hyrule Castle.
Alright, DT locates that spiral cave. I imagine Arborelia found Spiral Cave as well while we were going through this, but did not actually get the item because they died over there on East Death Mountain.
Arborelia about to take on those chain chomps. This room can be brutal early game. And DT definitely making the right call on heading in Eastern Palace. Oof. Oh, unfortunate death there.
So Arborelia is just going to go for it again. Just get up and dust yourself off.
Oh, she's checking the connector. We have Dark World access.
Alright. Out of logic Dark World access, but Dark World access nonetheless. And Arborelia is heading through the Dark World. That is the Hype Cave entrance, by the way, for those of you paying attention at home. And we've got other checks here like Swamp Palace.
Ooh, and Mine's Hut. Very nice.
Swamp Palace entrance turning out to have a rather large chunk of things behind. Though these could all be garbage, who knows? That's actual garbage, but the bow is not!
And a bottle filled with blue goo.
And the
mirror! Oh my gosh!
Holy crap and a half. And another T-Rock key, so sounds good.
Wow, that is a nice find. That is going to make her checks so much easier. She could just mirror in these spots, get these all done. That's nice to find early game.
Now I'm just sitting here wondering where all the, the other access to this area is. Maybe it's through Spiral Cave.
Oh, and we have a Desert Palace entrance hanging out in the Dark World.
This could very well be the connector we were intended to use.
A small key on that torch.
And that's the Swamp Small Key. Hello.
Wow, Arborelia is just making some really nice choices.
See, a building with a back door leads to a connector. That we know is just, words. Paradox.
It looks like DT is going to go ahead and check Spiral Cave for us, which is also a one-way connector. Sahasharala chilling at the Bonk Rocks in Dark World near Link's house. And our green pendant is Eastern today.
And, we could theoretically get that.
Pikia Desert.
Okay.
What is this seed?
Oof! And DT takes a death inside Spiral Cave. And it looks like DT is going to go activate his flute. So this is not going to go at all with DT's music, but I do have a song prepared. See what Stumpy has real quick. Another big key to Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock. Wow.
Okay. Incoming 130.
Hey, do all of you know the places you can go? Here in Cross Keys Rando, it is obscene. The flute will do you good, but if I were you, I would truly ask if I could. Get mirror, please.
Very
It's the same.
nice as
Yay!
always, Dr. Bob. Very nice as always, sir. And a red pendant at Swamp Palace today. And I believe Misery Mire was a crystal. I could be wrong, though, so don't quote me. Yes,
well.
it is.
Yeah, and as for that Swamp Palace, I think it was a red crystal, according to our tracker.
Yep, that was one of our 5/6s. We're going to find out what that small key on the race game is, as well as this back entrance of the Quarreling Brothers. Smartapod.
Yep, definitely want a significant number of pod keys, so there you go. We've got Hookshot Cave. 300 rupees there in Hookshot Cave. Ooh. Turns out we have Spike Cave over there at the left side of the race game.
Oh, and Dark Hacker Rico access at the back of Hookshot Cave.
Another big key, this time for Misery Mire at the digging game. DT gonna check the brewery location.
The chess game.
Chess game. Just moved a few doors over. And Arborelia now checking the other Bonk Rocks near Link's house. This time just a fortune teller, not nearly as...
Another connector on DT's side.
The graveyard ledge connector, that's always fun, in air quotes.
Yeah, for sure.
And Arborelia getting that Bottle and Thieves Town small key is also going to go back out this way.
Chicken Hut on DT's side.
That was the Witch's Hut for Arborelia at the end of Super Bunny Cave. And speaking of the Witch's Hut, there's the mushroom in the Chicken Hut. If I recall correctly, the potion shop itself was just south of the original Chicken Hut, so there we go.
Yeah, oh, was that half magic up on Mimic Ledge or Bumper Ledge?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get a Skull Woods peak on DT's side. As Arborelia finds the Mire Shed.
And yet another big key, this time to Thieves Town, immediately accessible in Skullwood. Probably a better idea to ask which big keys don't we have.
Right? Yeah, we have found a significant amount.
And we haven't found Hera, and we haven't found Pod. We know where the swamp one is. It's in GT. We haven't had Skullwoods. We haven't found Ice, but we found the rest. Oh, also GT.
Looks like Skull Woods is playing nice for once.
Oof.
Arborelia finding Ganon's Tower. Gonna not really find too much interesting in the Hope Room, but knowing where that tower is very nice.
If you had the big key here, you could make the interesting play of just going straight up the tower, but that sounds like a bad idea with 4 hearts and green mail.
Absolutely. Gonna get to take a look at what is in the back of Skullwoods today.
And we have
Laser Bridge. Nice.
It's a very out of logic laser bridge, but at least the chests anyway. Getting here wasn't out of logic. Well, that's an awful lot of GT keys. Oof.
Those laser skips are never fun, much less with 3 hearts.
Oof again. Alright, so Arborelia is now going to the back of Escape. Gonna find those 2 castle tower keys, and that's about it.
Yeah, Big J's, this is definitely a low percent for health at the moment.
Just 5 rubies in that last chest.
I mean, I think our poor runners would just be happy with a sword at this point.
Seems good to me. Alright, and DT leaving Skull Woods. Might go check a few other locations here. There's still some things on the left side here we can check. Another bottle. That's 3 we found so far.
I always get nervous when I have so many bottles so early that the game's not going to give me any, like, safeties, like swords or health or mail.
And DT going for the vanilla small key, which you can use later on in the back of Skullwoods when that gets found.
Wondering if we're gonna get a check of what that mushroom is early on.
Alright, Arborelia takes the mirror out of Hyrule Castle, while DT gonna check some more things around Eastern Palace. This is the business entrance of Spectacle Rock Cave. We're gonna get to find what that other big key is. This is the GT!
Wow.
And a bottle can be found in Skull Woods. Oh, really? I wonder where we got that idea. Alright, and DT finds that waterfall. We'll see what he does with this access. Doesn't have the mirror yet as well, so unfortunately will not be able to check this mess. Alright, Arborelia is now finding the connector to the floating island. So Arborelia could easily mirror here and see what we find. Got a small key to GT. That's 3 of them we found so far.
Yeah, plus the big key. That's a lot of keys for GT. Oh, a mini Moldarm cave hanging out in the Eastern Palace area.
Yep, while Arborelia is checking the top of Dark Death Mountain here, that's 10 arrows in Bonkrock's cave. DT finds a map to ice, a small key to Turtle Rock, that's 3 so far. Compass to Turtle Rock. And the big key of Skull Woods. Yet another big key. Arborelia has located Aga Tower. I'm imagining that was the top, or the top of Paradox Cave.
It was the bottom, actually.
Oh, jump down. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would not have guessed that you'd go for the jump down there, but that is certainly something you can do.
Yeah, I guess with the flute, it's pretty easy to get back to that spot to go head back and do everything else.
Arborelia here is going for the dark maze in Agate Tower with no lamp, and unfortunately has had a little trouble hitting that lamp with the fire rod, so is taking a death here.
Yeah, that was no sword as well. That's just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And another desert entrance in the Dark World.
And we did see Arborelia get the big key to desert, so Arborelia's just going to go for it here. Oh, DT is going to take that Skullwood's big key and put it to good use.
I kind of like this, not wanting to orphan things early on. It's easy to forget about. I think this is a good play.
And he's also picking up some bombs there. Well played on as far as the knowledge goes. I think he's okay. He's gonna bonk it. I was like, I think he's a pixel short, but yeah, he's fine. Bomb. We take the death. Arborelia going out. Another entrance in desert. That's gonna put you over at the Dark Witch shop.
That's actually a really nice connector if we end up not getting that hammer early. We do need a mitt to get down further, but that's a nice location to know about.
One way you could get down there if you really wanted to is you could fake flipper up at the top into a portal, which would take you down to Lake Hylia, and that would get you to that area if you wanted to, or over to the Dark Shopping Mall if you really wanted to go there.
Yeah, and with those boots, just bonking that tree puts you on the perfect pixel to jump right into that water, too.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah, but you gotta be careful, because most of the time a swarm of bees comes out, so you gotta boot and scoot if you want it to happen. We have the back of Desert Palace chilling in the the Light Death Mountain area. And Arborelia is able to go ahead and finish this out.
Yep, you'll need to pick up a few, a little bit of magic along the way, but there are plenty of drops under pots back here. Oof!
Yeah, I just feel so bad for the runners on 4 hearts at almost an hour in with no sword. Not even the hammer as a weapon. DT grabbing his big key to Misery Mire. A nice full magic drop for Arborelia as she's getting ready to go light those torches.
Alright, our DT picks up the big key of Turtle Rock. He's gonna make his way over to South Dark World, which will probably lead him toward Blindside there, and finally get the mirror. And I don't know, I'd be pretty salty about not having the mirror in all these places I want the mirror.
Oh, absolutely. Arborelia being careful to conserve her magic there. Gonna have to finish it out with some arrows.
Bombs are actually effective against landmo. You just gotta lay them at the right time, and the right time would have been quite a bit ago. Now.
DT finding the hammer in desert. How about that?
Wait. Did Arborelia not check the big chest of desert when they came back in here?
I don't think she had the big key at that time.
Yeah, she had, because it was in Sahasrah's closet, remember?
Oh my gosh, that feels really bad. But she does finish off that fight and is rewarded with the first crystal of the game. Oh, I really hope she remembers to go back there.
Oh, I know. But then Arborelia went back in after finding the right side entrance.
Yeah, because she found the other entrance back by the Dark Witch's hut.
Finding out that Tower of Hera is our other 5-6 from the bomb guy.
And it looks like she finds the old man cave. And she's gonna try and do that again with just that boomerang. Ugh, feels so terrible.
Luckily, Old Man Cave is a little more doable. Something that people are very used to do.
And DT gets that potion glitch, or the torch glitch, and, well, not really a glitch, but just a full heart for his troubles. But at this point, that's something nice to find.
Yeah, I definitely would be pretty happy about that, actually.
Well, this is interesting because now that DT has that hammer, he could actually head down to the Dark Pod area. Unfortunately, it's taking him a little bit further away from his mirror, but I don't think it's going to be too long before he makes it down to that Dark Reservoir.
I think DT... yeah, okay, he doesn't have the mirror. Alright, another small key from the old man to Meyer. Okay, that's 2. When you find 3, you start to think there might be something on the left side of Meyer.
Yeah, and they can definitely get in there. They can clear everything except the boss. Another full heart hanging out on the pyramid today. Unfortunately, without that mirror, we're not going to get to see what's on top of Hyrule Castle just yet.
Alright, so it looks like DT is actually just going to head back to the South Dark World area here to just finish it off, and I don't blame him.
Yeah,
easy
no,
to
not
forget
at
about
all.
this sort of thing.
And that's really good news for him because we know what's waiting down at the Dark Reservoir. The mirror is in the Dark Reservoir, which is our Blind's hut.
Are you going to believe this? There's another big key here on Spectacle Rock. This time to Hera.
Hero. Wow.
Alright, now Arborelia checking a few more things here in the West Death Mountain. This should be the back of Skull Woods if chat was telling me correctly earlier, and it was.
I mean, it's not completely impossible. Oh, no, she doesn't have that extra key. She could have done that. I believe she has a blue bottle. She would have been able to refill her magic and take him out with the fire rod. But no small key yet. Oh, King's Tomb up on Death Mountain today with just $20.
Alright, so DT has plundered the middle of Turtle Rock. He's gonna ask where he's going, but I guess he hasn't done the big key chest yet. Oh wait, no, he's got the big key.
Yeah, we're gonna see that crystal roller room. With the lamp.
What? Okay, thanks, game.
Ooh, DT taking a death so close to that mirror.
Oh, rip indeed.
The mirror and bow at that.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a lot of things for Pod, too. If he could find that with that bow, the hammer, even the lamp, because we don't have a weapon.
That lamp is super in logic. Turtle Rock Big Key was on Stumpy. And you were able to reach the Dark World with the Moon Pearl completely in logic, so, yeah.
DT finding the back of the old man cave entrance.
I did not know there was a 50-50 bomb drop under that bottom left push there from Arbor. Yeah, the laser entrance there was in logic. It's in, it was Hype Cave, which is also accessible if you can reach the Dark World with the Moon Pearl.
Looks like DT's going to go ahead and finish out Desert while he's here as well.
Yeah, because you're not forced to walk directly through the path of a laser like that, or into it, it's considered in logic the left side laser entrance, yeah.
Although without the Cane of Samaria, can you access the Crystal Roller Room without that from the laser side?
Not from Laser Bridge, but from the laser wall.
Eyes, yeah. Okay. I get so confused with the key logic and everything, especially with Turtle Rock, Ganon's Tower, and Pod.
Gonna get ourselves a King's Tomb entrance check here. Hey, it's archery game. We're gonna make some money.
Without that bow, we're gonna have some hammer strats on the Lammolas today for DT. Yeah, and that incoherent actually came into play. It might have even been your race where they had to kill those pokies with bombs like a million times to get their Dark World access.
Alright. Arborelia also picking up the mushroom. So I wonder who will be the first one to turn that thing in.
Yeah, we definitely had super early access to that potion shop, which is kind of rare in Cross Keys.
And we're going to Skull Woods as well. We'll see Arborelia probably head to the back as well to get that laser bridge check. But also definitely and probably most importantly going to find the big key of Thieves Town here. Alright, DT also checking the front of, or the back of Skull Woods here. Neither runner will be able to reach Mothula right now. Of course, on account of, not having a sword.
Yeah, that curtain can be a bummer. I've forgotten a couple times and gone all the way back there just to stand and stare at the curtain.
I believe I did so in the race where I got eliminated from this tournament, so there you go.
I've gone all the way up Agus Tower and done it too. That is a feels bad man moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that curtain is made out of some sort of, flame retardant ridiculousness. Wait, are all the holes vanilla?
It looked like all of Skull Woods was vanilla today. Oh, and DT remembering that Mimic Cave was back here.
Mm-hmm.
Such an easy spot to forget about.
I've had a subtle derp with this, thinking that the mirror is required for it. It's like, wait a minute. Alright, DT taking the connector in the lumberjack. This might be the first time DT's done this. The Wallmaster can be killed, but it doesn't prevent it from coming down again. It's always a different Wallmaster, apparently.
Yeah, that's always fun when you're playing Atomizer.
Right, Arborelia finds Laser Bridge. Yeah, those beetles do not respond at all to wooden arrows. Silvers take them out. Oof. The Laser Bridge is going to claim many lives today, I think. Alright, Turtle Rock's entrance medallion is Bombos. Apparently Arborelia already knew that, but now DT does. We see Ice Palace and Misery Mire, both crystals. DT still does not have the mirror. Yeah, I think... Yeah, apparently I was talking out of my rear end when I said Skull was a crystal. Because it looked like a pendant that time. So... shows how much I know.
And just $5 from our mushroom today, unfortunately.
DT picking up a blue potion. Now, the unfortunate part for DT is that you could pick up a free blue potion in Blind's Hut if you were there.
This is true.
Alright, so DT gonna go through Paradox Cave, which, as we recall, puts you out on East Death Mountain?
Yep.
Oh, he's gonna go for that Spiral Cave check again.
Oh, interesting. He does have the hammer now, so that might be a little more enticing. Arborelia finds the Graveyard Lich.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what was in there, but,
Just a piece of heart, but at this point, I think she's gonna take every piece she finds.
speaking of piece of heart, DT finds one in Spiral Cave, but what do we find on the other side? That's the important part here. Lol.
Wow.
Arborelia catching a fairy like a boss.
Oh, I think we're getting an Ice Palace play from DT.
Oh my.
We sure are.
And Arborelia does find that GT big key now. That would be another interesting play, trying to go up GT. Whew. It's not one I would make in this scenario unless I could hover.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, the game is giving all kinds of big keys, but really nothing else.
Yeah, one major problem with DT's situation is no gloves in Ice Palace. The gloves lock exactly the same items that the hammer does in this dungeon.
I'm going to think positive. I think he's going to find a glove.
Well, we did say there was going to be some early Ice Palace requirement shenanigans, so this could be it.
But Cross Keys does love to make you double dip. Oh no!
Oof. The oofs continue to be real. People dying left and right. It's like they don't want you to win this.
And there's our Skull Woods hint on Arborelia's side and Eastern Palace entrance.
Yeah, I think what Gen's minions decided was, here's how we'll beat them. We'll just make sure all the health is locked away where no one can get to.
Yeah, poor DT is just not getting any nice, Sorry, RNG. I was concentrating on watching him be, like, holding my breath for the poor guy.
So, to be honest, if any of our runners were going to go to GT, I would kind of want it to be DT. Because, he's got the hammer, he's got the boots. Which means at least one thing on the left side's in logic. And you can bomb jump to get the rest.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of checks. Oh, I think Arborelia is about to make the Ice Palace play too.
Oh dear, we're gonna have dueling Ice Palace trips.
Oh no! Oh. Yeah, DT has definitely made the commitment to clear this dungeon, or at least get as far as he can.
There are 4 items you can access in this dungeon without the hammer and glove. 5 if you happen to find the big key to Ice Palace.
Oh, and Arborelia just down to 1 bomb.
There are 10 arrows over there, but I'm not sure arrows work on these. Oof!
Oh, she does have that fairy, so it's not quite over yet.
So the arrows do work, they just take a little bit. I believe they'll, I was gonna say 4 hits probably because they deal Master Sword damage to most.
DT not gonna bother with that Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah, when you don't have the hammer or glove, there's not much of a point. You can't really get to the boss, so.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do we know what our stun item is yet?
I haven't been paying attention to that. I should have at some point.
Not sure if we did. I might have seen a full magic container, but I'm not 100% sure. It'd be nice if it was bombs for these poor runners.
Yeah, that being said, I'm not sure anything in this dungeon stuns due to the boomerang.
That room right after the bomb jump, you can stun those 3 there only because I have done it.
Oh, the jellies.
But
yeah.
there's parts, yeah. That's always where I like reload, especially if I have a decent drop.
Where are the swords indeed? Good stinking question. Well, here's Iced Tea Room with a heart. DT is certainly not going to say no to a heart. So we're going to get a third hint. Rip.
Oh, we haven't even got nice hints in this seed, much less any kind of weapon.
And no sword here is actually really problematic because my setup for this involves using the sword. Okay, DT's basically got it. Oh, well, he did.
Oh, this is heartbreaking. And that jelly just moved right to the worst spot.
Nailed it with half a heart left. Whew! Oh no.
Oh, well, he has a
blue
potion.
potion.
It's okay.
Whew!
Oh my gosh, this seed is making my chest hurt.
A small key to Misery Mire, and that's gonna do it.
Oh, that's just
Ice
gross.
Palace. Garbage all day, every day.
Well, that is almost a shame to put Ice Palace and the Fire Rod so early and then nothing in it.
Alright, so Arborelia decides to peace out after checking the first 3 chests, not bothering with the bomb jump there on the right-hand side.
Well, she's definitely not missing much by doing that. And a GT dip for In the Name of DT.
Yep, I did say that GT was a pretty good play for DT. So we're going to see if he can do these bomb jumps over here. I imagine probably so.
I mean, other than that dark reservoir check and a couple checks at the dark pod area, they're pretty much down to just doing this. There's really not much more they can do at this point, unfortunately. Yeah, Big J's, that's definitely really unfortunate. He was so close to that entrance, too.
Yeah, this seed has kind of been conspiring against our runners with the whole dying in inopportune places. Another heart for DT, so picking up more health. Certainly the sort of thing we're looking for right now. A piece of heart and a book! Now we note that is a hookshot locked book in Logic, so we won't be expecting anything on the tablets. We already know what's behind Desert Entrance until we find that book, and then of course we will also need swords. Is Armos in Logic with 2 keys? No, but we do know where a third one is in Logic. Also, yeah, none of this is in Logic.
I think we're gonna get a Zora check on Arborelia's side.
DT, well, it looked like they had a... Okay, now they definitely have the correct spot for that bomb jump. I think the earlier one would have also worked. DT just skipped Rando Room.
Oh, that is an unfortunate accident too, because I don't believe you can get back there. Oh, he has no bombs. Oh, my lord.
Oh, gross.
And a cape from Zora today, which is out of logic.
Well, at least you can definitely get a bomb in this room. Right there. There's also, I believe, a few more bombs under some of the other pots. And now it's time for Armos on Ice. This time, no sword. Does have the hammer, so we can use hammer strats. But that does mean you're going to have to get up close and personal.
Arborelia finding the top of that bumper ledge and mirroring in the light world and finding bumper ledge.
Well, there you go.
So at least she did get her half magic, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just leads her to the dead end ledge on Dark East Death Mountain. Oof! DT, takes a death on Ice Armos.
Although, if she would have mirrored in that spot, she would have dropped right down in the desert where she could have got her hammer. I'm starting to get concerned that she's going to forget about that big chest.
Alright, so it looks like Arborelia is going to take that cape and go to Laser Bridge. The hammer is definitely necessary for this seed eventually, as Swamp Palace is in fact a crystal.
Yeah, plus she really has no other permanent weapon besides that bow, which doesn't do damage on every single enemy, unfortunately.
And at least one more of the small keys, or at least one more of the dungeons that are crystals will also require a hammer.
DT finding Hype Cave. Oh, but no bombs. Oh, no.
The bombs are causing some real issues today. There's Hotel Mario sitting there outside a pod.
Speaking of pod.
Yeah, speaking of pod, what's up? yet another Turtle Rock small key. That's quite a bit of Turtle Rock small keys.
I think that's all 4, isn't it?
Might be. Yeah, one of the great things about finding Pod is there are like a million bombs under pots in Pod. So I think DT is going to be fine with the bomb situation.
DT's RNG has just been so gross. I feel so bad for both of these runners right now.
There's the 4th Ganon's Tower key. DT's setting up for the hammer yump. And there we go. Arborelia has located Swamp Palace, finding out that the basement of Hera, or at least the annoying chest, is pointless. Oh, and a sword! A very out of logic sword! Yeah, with the hammer yump, you'd have to try real hard to find an X pixel that wouldn't work, but the Y pixel is mostly perfect.
Wow, so we definitely need that Spectacle Rock exit to get to Swamp Palace today.
We also see that Magic Bat has the red boomerang today, so no regrets on turning in that mushroom already.
Yeah, I thought for sure DT was going to head right back to Hype Cave. 4 items when we have so little. It's definitely enticing.
Alright, what do we have? Bombs. Lol. And blue mail, so the mail upgrade being the only thing of any real value. And Arborelia is going for the Eastern Palace clear. Notably, this is, at least based on what we have, in logic.
Yeah,
Like,
she doesn't
it's
have
not
that
in logic
yet,
for
but it is
Arborelia.
accessible.
Right. So the back of Armos Knights or Sahasrara could have the item we're looking for.
On the front entrance of T-Rock and Pod today. Ooh, didn't refill his magic first. Interesting.
There's also a bomb under one of those pots. That being said, he's now full on bombs. Is he gonna go back to GT here? Sure is.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's really orphaned that Dark Reservoir location at the moment.
Ugh.
At least now he has a sword. It's what, 12 hits per Armos with the sword?
I believe that is correct. And pokes and slashes will do the same amount of damage, so. Meanwhile, speaking of Armos, Arborelia taking out Armos number 1. This will be the traditional 18. We have a small key to Skull Woods, which, together with a sword, would allow us to get to the back of Skull Woods, though Arborelia, I believe, saved a key from the dip earlier. But that green pendant could also lead to something. Meanwhile, DT is checking Rando Room, 100 rupees, Big 20, 300 rupees, and a shield.
Choosing not to
had
take
the
on
fire
those
shield.
Armos. Did he check the big chest while he was in there?
He checked it the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually get to the big chest without going through Ice Armos.
That's what I thought, but I couldn't remember seeing him check it. Good to know.
Right, Arborelia appears to be having a bit of a brain time. Oh, that's where the top of Bumper Cave was. It was at the Old Man, which you can just go to after rescuing. That is a interesting bit of the logic where that starting point is considered part of the possible ways you can get places.
Yeah, that's really nice too. That's instant Dark World access since they don't have the glove.
All right, now Arborelia is going to attempt to do this bomb jump. That it's not possible from where Arborelia is. So what you have to do is face down and get 1 or 2 pixels away from the left wall, and then back up into that gap and sort of get on the last possible pixel. Then you can hold up and make the bomb jump. It is very precise on the Y pixel, and you can't sword buffer it.
Wow, just $20 off Sasha today.
Alright, so Arborelia gets what we call in the biz slightly debated. But if Arborelia will just go south to Bomb Shop, you can get the big chest of desert. Okay, look at your keys, notice the big key of desert, and go get it. Oh!
She's doing it.
Okay. The hammer is real.
Wow. She's going to be very happy and probably a little upset all at the same time.
Alright, Arborelia picks up the hammer, and they've got several more things they can check now, as they now have bridged the gap to eastern area of Death Dark World.
Oh, and with that cape and the mirror, we're going to be able to see what's on top of Hyrule Castle, too. Which we still haven't seen. Hera, Thieves Town, I think, or Misery Mire.
So for those of you keeping score at home, the one thing that DT is missing is that is Blind's hut, which is found at the Swamp Palace entrance. He orphaned it after taking a death just outside of Hype Cave. And that contains both the bow and the mirror. So that's kind of the big deal now.
I do feel like you mentally willed Arborelia to go back in the desert, so maybe.
All right, DT. All right. So here's what you need to do. You need to get into the Dark World and go to the south side just as fast as you can. I don't know how you're going to do it. Probably not going to do it from here. But you need to.
We need that Dr. Bob magic right now. Oh, we have the Cane of Berna on the library today that Arborelia finds on top of Hyrule Castle.
Okay, so that Cane of Berna, I believe, is technically in logic, unlike the Cape, which was here on Zora.
An ether at Checkerboard Cave.
Did Arborelia even check the middle entrance there with the cape?
She had the cape on, but I did not see if she went in.
Oh yeah, I think she did then. She switched to the mirror to delete blocks.
Oh, that's right, it was a hint. I apologize. It seems like there are some fireworks going off outside my house, so it might get loud.
We'll deal with it. And Arborelia is going to pick up that blue mail, which feels good. It looks like DT's going for the ped check.
I like this. I like information.
Yeah, and I mean, what with 2 pendants definitely accessible? How about no?
Rip ped. Okay, this is going to get him back in the Dark World. We just need him to go to the Dark Reservoir.
Arborelia locates Pod and can get quite a few items here. Can check the right side with the bow. And of course, I mean, when have you not seen Pod with a key to itself?
Yeah, right?
Can actually save. Actually, if you're extremely meticulous, you can check the right hand side and never go through that middle door. Looks like DT. I can't think of any other reason he'd be headed this direction. Going for that swamp play, Swamp Palace entrance, which once again is what he needs to do.
Dr. Bob, your magic has proven useful yet again.
The map of Thieves Town on the east side of Pod. That, could be some nice information. Alright, DT finds the bow and the mirror and the bottle. And that's what he's here for. Oh yeah, that's where the other T-Rock key was. Going for Dark Helmosaur is a possibility here, especially with the Fire Rod. That makes the Turtle Room just that much more tolerable.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we're going to get a look at what is on our tablet here.
We will get to see the contents of Bombo's tablet. We won't get to pick it up, however. Just piece of heart, so moving on for DT.
And just $50 in the Harmless Hellway. We didn't get a chance to see that on DT's side.
Anyone else find our lack of glove disturbing?
Oh, for sure. Lack of everything is disturbing.
Locked behind those gloves.
Oh yeah, and it could be even locked further with like the Titan's mints. We haven't seen any Dark Misery Mire access yet, and that could just be, that flute was pretty early. So we might need to find both sets of gloves.
Alright, DT, I believe, is going to head to the back of the race game now. Oh, I really hope Arborelia makes it to the top of the Dark Maze here. Oof! As a fairy. Spike Cave would be big for DT if he had a glove.
Oh.
You need a glove for
done
Spike
that
Cave.
Too. You get all excited and then you're like, oh no.
At least once. I think I've done it twice, which, is just impressive levels of incompetence on my part, but whatever.
Oh no, I think we've all done it quite a few times. It's just that you really don't think about the gloves because you don't usually go this long without having at least one.
The sword was in the top of the Dark Maze of Pod, and is therefore locked behind, all the pod keys? In logic? Due to the fact that we have both those bow and hammer?
And back to pod for DT.
All the pod keys minus the big one, of course, and we don't have the big key.
Oh no,
Or
I
do we
think
have the big
Arborelia thinks she does.
I think DT is thinking about save scumming some keys here in Pod. I mean, we found a lot of big keys, but I'm pretty sure the pod key is not one of them.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it. If we didn't, she didn't open the big chest.
Alright, DT once again piecing out a pod. We see yet another crystal, it looks like, in Thieves'
Oh yeah, she definitely doesn't have that big key.
Alright, so Arborelia, unfortunately, having to back. Oh! There's a sword on Ether Tablet, so you need 2 swords just for that one. DT going for the pun. Alright, DT is gonna... Looks like he's gonna go for the key on the floating island. Picks up that GT key. You know, I think progression is at the top of GT.
Yeah, I can't think of anywhere else they can go. I mean, we don't have access to 3 dungeons. The ones we do, we're locked out of the rest of the way. I mean, I can't think of what other play to make. DT's gonna find Swamp Palace here, but of course we haven't found the dam yet.
Arborelia gonna purchase a potion real quick. Perhaps Arborelia might have... Well, I was thinking that she might have come to the same conclusion about GT, but apparently not. But DT is about to mirror... Oh, okay. Arborelia going for the big chest of Skullwoods, like we saw DT do. Alright, now I don't know about you, but this looks like a GT play to me. With the blue potions and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have to assume that there's going to be at least a glove in here, possibly the red cane. It has to be something.
So DT looks like DT is going to head for left side once again. Going to go ahead and take care of Ice Armos because, you know, I would do this too. It's 3 items that you might need later.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, I feel like they're just grasping at straws, just any type of progression at this point.
I mean, I think it's going to be a glove in the chest right before Moldorm.
Yeah, Arborelia making the same play.
Now, Arborelia notes the fact that there are 4 small keys already in her possession and knows that this bonk chest down here is 100% in logic. Is going to go for the bomb jump here. Now, this is a slightly more technical bomb jump than the one that DT did. That bomb placement is not going to do it.
Yeah, this one you have to go a little south with your bomb and then move back up. It's a lot more difficult than just
it's
doing
basically
one
the
as
same,
opposed to 2.
Yeah, it's basically the same difference in X position or in Y position as the hammer jump. So like you drop the bomb and you move up the same amount.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even learn that one.
Yeah, the idea being that you want to lay the bomb so that it blows you exactly left. Now, Arborelia decided instead going to go up the tower, which we suspect contains our progression. Ice Palace, small key, bombs, and a Cane of Samaria.
Wow! There is some progression.
Yeah. Speaking of progression, this is also an immediate opening on the right-hand side of GT.
Some swag Cane of Samaria strats on DT side.
And we are getting the tile room play. Which, I mean, with only 5 chests left here on the bottom, I don't see why you wouldn't go for the tile room play. I feel like Arborelia might go catch another fairy here.
Yeah, she unfortunately didn't get all the love that DT did, but she does have that blue mail at least. So that's a little bit helpful.
And Clippy has arrived to pick up another heart. Picks up the fairy, grabs the other one, ready to go. Meanwhile, DT lighting some torches here. And into the right side room. Gonna grab 4 chests here. Probably grab the key afterwards. Maybe not. We've got a big key to ice. bombs. The big key to swamp.
Wow.
Not pod. Pod is the only one missing at this point. And DT is going to climb the tower. So whatever progression this is, which I'm not gonna lie, I might be 99% certain there's progression up here.
Yeah, it's gotta be something.
Unless I'm forgetting some entrance or something that somebody hasn't checked, this has got to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't believe there's an entrance that we haven't checked yet. At least not one that I've missed. A lot of glove lock locations. But we don't have the flippers to access the dark shopping mall. Dark Misery Mire is still blocked. So many entrances just plain glove locked. I mean, at this point, it has to be something.
The problem with Turtle Rock having progression is that cane wasn't in logic. You technically needed hookshot. So odds are this could just be the hookshot up here. Yeah, DT did sequence break the left side. The Smith's Dark Connector. Oh, that could be a thing. Could be like a transport to, say, Dark Mire. But I would bet a reasonable amount that it's right side desert. So here's the question. You come up here, you find the hook shot. Do you finish it?
Oh, it is an item on Lumberjack, I suppose. I mean, if you come all this way, I probably would.
Yeah, I agree. It is a pretty good play. Alright. We have reached the relevant rooms of the climb. We've got
There's
a glove. 10 arrows. We can check pre-Moldorm as well, and if Arborelia wants to go for the hover, she can. A heart container. And we going for it. Or not.
So at least a double dip GT required.
Yeah, very true.
That glove just unlocking so many new locations.
I believe DT can, maybe, on a good... Nope. I'm making that up.
I thought DT could hover too, so you're definitely not alone in that assumption.
Maybe you just decided not to go for it. I mean, what with all the glove-locked entrances to check, seems like it might be a reasonable... You know where the hookshot is? You ready for the prediction of the year?
Lay it on
Spike
me.
Cave.
Ooh, that could be. I mean, my God, it could be anywhere. And DT heading back into dreaded Ice Palace, a little bit more locked and loaded this time, though.
Mm-hmm.
And with that big key, so he's not going to have to leave anything behind.
This is Golden Sun. And if you are not aware of Golden Sun, you should be aware of Golden Sun. Yeah, I think I was like 15 or so when it came out too.
The nice thing on DT's side, if he does find the Master Sword somewhere here in Ice Palace, he's going to be able to like immediately go to Tempered because he did check that tablet.
Today I learned you can mess up the pot throw and then just slash and still get it. Alright, Arborelia taking a slight death here on Moth, but does have a fairy, should be able to pull.
Will Ice Palace pay off the second time around?
₹300 as the first glove lock chest. Now DT did manage to get the Ice Palace big key as well, so we'll be able to get the contents of the big chest as well. Arborelia pulling out the fight there on Moth, gets that blue pendant. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised to see Pod be the last pendant. At this point, it's really between Pod and Turtle Rock. I just missed what that was.
It was nothing. It was 10 arrows. It is quite possible that Ice Palace is completely useless today. Well, at least it is a crystal.
DT switching to Hammer to finish off the last puff of Cold Stare, and there we go. Just a map of Eastern, and that does it.
I'm pretty sure this is one of the first times I've seen Ice Palace not have at least a single piece of progression inside of it.
Whoa!
Oh, and there's Tower of Hera!
Arborelia finding Tower of Hera. We have, or at least one of our runners has the big key, and both of our runners have the big key. And we also know that the basement in the bottom is useless. Alright, so DT taking his newfound glove. He hasn't checked the entrance of Pod, it looks like. He's gonna go check that.
I think he knows that's the front of T-Rock, actually.
Oh, right. Going for Turtle Rock. Seems good. All right. Silver arrows in good old Tower of Hera compass chest. Looks like Arborelia is going to go for the vanilla strats to reach the big chest. Another pod key in the front of TR. So that cane is technically locking the sword they have. Piece of heart. And time for Troll Dorm for Arborelia. I don't know if DT runs Quick Swap or not.
And our flippers.
Flippers. Alright, so those are definitely required because of Swamp Palace. Arborelia electing to use vanilla sword strats here, which, while they can be safer because they can provide you from some protection from being knocked off, they also take a few more hits. Going to the hammer for the last hit is a good call to avoid the enrage phase. And the last shield on Troll Dorm, and a crystal acquired for Arborelia.
A 5/6 crystal at that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see where Arborelia decides to go. Alright, DT checking the top of Hyrule Castle now for some sick value.
Oh, there's Misery Mire.
Okay, Misery Mire is available. We don't have the Cane of Samaria, so we can't beat the boss, or rather, Arborelia doesn't have the Cane of Samaria. But we could easily see the hookshot here, and it could even be in those left two chests, because I believe those are also completely in logic. DT finds the Cane of Brian.
And back into Turtle Rock. For Bombos. Another small key to pod. I think that's... Is that 5 or 6?
5, I believe. Alright, DT heading back to the Dark World. At this rate, based on what they have, DT might actually be going to the same place that Arborelia is. Did our runners check the hammer-locked house here in Village of Outcast?
Yeah, it wasn't anything.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
DT might have forgot that save and quit at the old man house. Nope, he's going to King's Tomb, maybe?
Oh yeah, he's gonna mirror to King's Tomb real quick, which still should have gone to the old man's house there, but whatever.
And there's our key to Hera, which we don't need.
That is correct. I believe it was some sort of map or something in the basement. Alright, Arborelia now heading to the left side of Misery Mire. That is the last pod key.
Here it is.
And DT also dipping into Mire. Now, DT will actually be able to finish Mire.
Unfortunately, he didn't make it to Hera yet to grab those silvers, so his fight's going to be a little more gross, but I think he can handle it.
I believe that the sword does fall into logic now, yes. Well, no, not without the hookshot. Because one of those small keys was cane locked. Red mail left side in the vanilla big key chest. So, I mean, Arborelia is not going to say no to that after as many, unfortunate episodes with damage that we've had this season.
Looks like DT's just going to head right to Vidi. He's done playing around.
Fair enough. That is a solid strat here.
And just a fairy in the light world bumper entrance. Well, I guess it's the Death Mountain entrance.
It's like Arborelia going to check Mimic Cave finally. And I'm going to go ahead and head to the... Forgot what was in here. Turtle Rock, big chest.
Yeah, this is a good play for her because that crystal roller room was her lamp, and nobody likes dark rooms.
Alright, DT on the Vidi fight. Eight arrows to the main eyeball will do it as Arborelia goes to get that lamp. Just 10 arrows on Vidi, and that does it for Mire. He may head back inside. The red cane was behind Ice Armos in in GT. Arborelia finally coming back for this chest. That's unfortunate.
Wondering if our hook shot's going to be in this big chest.
Which big chest?
Misery Mire.
No,
is
it
that
was
out of
50
logic?
goodies.
Oh, we did get a big chest check. Okay. All of our dungeons have really let us down for progression today.
Mm-hmm. I think Arborelia, looking at the tracker on Arborelia's screen, mismarked that as Spike Cave when it should be the other side. But Arborelia might be checking Spike Cave here to... Looks like Arborelia is going to go for the Ice Palace play, which we all know is in fact complete garbage. And Arborelia does not have the Ice Palace big key, and therefore will not be able to get the garbage in that chest. So we're going to orphan that particular location. Now, as far as dungeon locations go, we are still missing Thieves Town, and technically we're missing the dam so that we can access Swamp Palace. And then, of course, we don't know which of Pod or Turtle Rock is going to be required, but we need at least one more item to do either of those as well. The big key for Pod, and of course the ice rod for Turtle Rock.
At least with the flippers and the glove, that opens up 4 more locations over in the Ice Rod Cave area and the Dark Shopping Mall. So there's 4 there. There's potential for the dam and Thieves Town to be hanging out.
True. Alright, DT having completely cleared out Misery Mire, now going to head to some other locations. The glove, of course, being the one item that recently was acquired. And so that is the thing in logic that's sort of on your mind here. Oh, looks like DT's going for Spike Cave. And Spike Cave has the Titan's Mitt. Hot dang and a half. That gives us access to the Misery Mire area.
Just pretty much opened up the entire rest of the world for DT.
I was half right. It wasn't the hook shot, but it was Misery Mire. Oh, DT's digging for magic right now. Today I learned you can dig the ground up here.
Yep, and with Misery Mire being Bombos, that opens up the whole rest of the world except for, of course, our bomb shop location, our bomb spot, and Ganon's Tower.
Well, we got Thieves Town here, which is pretty sick. Can definitely access all of the items here in Thieves Town, and if I'm not mistaken, that big key and small key were both completely in logic. Magic powder. Everybody's favorite safety item. And by everybody, I mean mine. Pod Big Key.
Wow.
As well, in the vanilla big key chest of Thieves Town. So, we have literally found every big key in the game.
That is correct, Lord Xenu. Our red boomerang is now accessible with that magic powder. Oh, Arborelia down to half a heart. Oh, unfortunate death. Oh my.
But, fairy.
Oh, thank God.
Arborelia is catching fairies like they mean it.
Oh, and there is our hint for what is in the Firelock side of Misery Mire.
And just immediately taking 6 more hearts of damage here for Arborelia. Back down to that half a heart.
Oh, please have one more fairy. Okay.
Yep. Another 300 rupees there for DT. 3 more chests here in Thieves Town. And down goes Cold
wow.
Stare.
GG's. I was holding my breath.
Alright, 20 rupees in the Maiden's chest. Going to the big chest. Another big 20. And it's blind time. Oof. There you go.
Yeah, incoherent. That is pretty gross. At almost 2.5 hours and no logical sword.
Alright, 3 hearts for the blind fight here for DT. I don't think it'll be a problem, though. Ooh, getting close there, but DT manages the kill, and yet another big 20, as Thieves Town is complete.
Looks like Arborelia might be checking that spike cave location. Hopefully she remembers to mirror.
Yeah, the Spike Cave location seems good, and Arborelia going for it.
And our C-shape house.
Looks like DT just picked up the pod map and checked it. I didn't quite see what it was.
There's our dam and our ice rod.
We also see that pod is our last crystal, so that DT just needs to find the hook shot. And a sword. Yeah, that is right.
Worst part is he knows where one is, he just cannot get it. Almost vanilla Agena Cave, just slightly to the north. With the hook shot.
Well, there goes the bet. I was gonna say, the hook shot's right here. Like, in logic, there were literally three entrances left. And that was... Alright, so DT's still checking a few locations. I believe this is because DT has not found Tower of Hera yet. Also does need a sword, of course, but if I were looking for items, I would go to places with items. So, more dungeons. I wouldn't be surprised to find a sword in Swamp, because there's always a sword in Swamp. DT does not know where the silvers are, but there's basically no chance he doesn't get them on the way up Hera. Ah, DT.
Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave. Good chance of a sword in here, I think. Desert Small Key. Yeah, we could see a sword on the right side of desert. Who knows?
It honestly wouldn't surprise me with how gross this seed has been.
So here's the question. Or here's my question. You get through this seed. If you acquire your sword as your go mode item, and you've actually completed all of the dungeons already, do you go to Ether Tablet to pick up the Tempered, or do you just Master Sword Silvers it?
I think I would get the Tempered. Just Master Sword is gross. That's actually what decided one of the races that I commentated. One was Master Sword Silvers. The other was Tempered Silvers. And I believe Tempered won. It was 6 seconds.
Alright, DT gonna show us what's in the big chest here. 10 bombs.
What if our sword is on Pendant Turtle Rock?
I mean, it's entirely possible, though we have checked kind of the vast majority of it.
Yeah, it would have to be Trinex, which is gross.
Yeah. That seems, excessively dumb.
Yep.
Is Trinex in Logic without a sword? No. Yes. With the hammer it is. Yeah. Yeah. You have to have the hammer. Or, like, lots of magic. I gotta go look up the Trinex logic again. So the way I look up the logic is I go into the code and look at it. But, you know, you can go look at the code if you want. And DT with a very nice hammer fighter sword ridiculousness. And not a whole lot going in pod. Still no sword. Now Arborelia is going to pick up this hook shot and will then have logical access to the left side of GT, which definitely needs to happen to get that Cane of Samaria. Cane, of course, is going to be locking the flippers, which we know is definitely required as well.
DT heading to Swamp Palace.
Alright, so the odds that there is a sword here in Swamp is pretty high. No, I'm not convinced we have seen the sunken treasure. Then, of course, we also have that blacksmith and purple chest and all that mess in Logic.
I can't believe how little the dungeons have had in terms of anything. Like, we got the flute and the moon pearl pretty early from Eastern Palace, but really nothing super huge in any of the dungeons.
Yeah, the dungeons have been pretty barren. I mean, yeah, like you said, moon pearl and flute from Eastern. So the left side play is kind of goofy, except for the fact that he knows there's only 2 swords left in the pool. And so I feel like he's like, okay, there's only 2 things that I could possibly get. There's a chance one of them's over here. And if both are over here, it's going to make you feel crappy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's also hoping to find those silvers too if he's thinking he's going to have to do Master Sword.
Alright, so left side officially Garbo.
I think too, with everything that they've played and all the hints that they've checked, not getting that left side swamp hint kind of entices you more to check it.
And Arborelia is gonna deal with Helmasaur as well. Alright. Sunken chests in swamp. Piece of heart. Bombs. Ten arrows. Still no swords. Swamp, you're supposed to have a sword. I very much doubt menu boss will be happening. You basically get a double spin for free if you grab them correctly.
I think the only item locations we haven't found, and I might have missed one, is the Bombable Hut, the Waterfall Ferry, and Cave 45. We are just running out of places that another sword could be. I mean, it has to be out there, 2 of them, but maybe the 5-6 crystals?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with as tedious as his seed has been, sword-wise. Ooh, there could be a sword on Lumberjack.
Gross.
Yeah, right?
Alright, so DT. Alright, so there's 300 rupees of the sunken treasure. DT is actually beelining it for the location of Hera, actually. Doesn't know it, but he is.
Oh goodness, Ganon's tower entrance could be one of our item locations with a sword.
Wow. That would actually... I'm not gonna lie, if I find my sword there, I'm getting tempered.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I almost didn't even want to say that out loud in case it happens. Oh, we are going to get to
right
see
side
right
desert.
side. Yeah.
There's the Hyrule Castle small key, which is how you were intended to get back there. And yet another heart. Still not the sword we're looking for.
I feel like I just cursed the runners. Oh yeah, it could be in the Moldorm 2 chest. Oof. There's like really only awful places where the sword could be at this point.
Yeah, to be honest, the check on the Turtle Rock main entrance and the entrance of Ganon's Tower after this Moldorm fight seem actually like the best checks.
Yeah, for sure.
Because getting up there is not hard. You just take the connector from Mini Moldorm Kit.
Yeah, this is the first time in a long time that I have seen all 7 crystals and still not go mode.
Alright, Arborelia is now doing Ganon's Tower basement. Alright, DT looks like they're gonna go check hammer pegs. Just a hint. I'm not interested. Alright, blacksmith time. I believe this will be a quick flute to 7.
Yeah, I like that he set up that portal there so you can just jump in and grab the chest if there isn't anything here.
Alright, are you gonna give us a sword, Smiths? Nope.
You gotta be kidding me. Oh my lord.
This seed is extra dumb.
Arborelia about to get her Cane of Samaria?
And bailing, it looks like. Which is an okay move, because all that's over there on the left side is 2 dud big keys. DT was going here, and... well, okay, still going here. While Arborelia is getting to go finish Misery Mire. Oh, DT going for the big bomb play. Galaxy Bomb. Alright, so we could be seeing one of those item locations you talked about earlier here. But who knows? I actually feel like after this you want to go to Dark Shopping Mall.
Oh yeah, 4 entrances and a mirror to get a 4th. I definitely think that's probably what he's gonna do.
Oh, that's one of our item locations. What do we got? Quack!
Bye. Goodness.
Okay. Now this seed is just mocking us.
Well, yeah,
mocking you, me, and everyone else who's involved here.
We only have 2 item locations left that we haven't found. The Waterfall Ferry and K45. That's it. Oh my gosh. What if it's Muldorm 2 and Lumberjack? I don't even want to say anymore because the more I say, the worse I feel.
Yeah, I already feel bad just from you saying that.
Yeah, but I mean... At least
I feel bad for
associating
with you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but at this point, what other choices do we have? Oh,
I don't
catfish
think we
has
have a catfish
yes.
check. Both of them did climb GT except to the final chest, because the first glove was up there. So, thanks, game. Alright, so there's Arborelia with 6th crystal. We know they need to head to Turtle Rock to get that, get those flippers. And then the 7th crystal can be theirs.
Sick kid.
What do we have? It's a sword!
My gosh!
Sick Kid with the goods!
Wow.
And
Wow.
DT
I completely forgot about Sick Kid.
is going to hit go mode and then finish the game within 3 minutes. Who gave that kid a sword? I don't know, but it's probably why he's sick.
Yeah, DT not gonna waste time getting that tempered. He just wants this done and over with. Still, getting a sub 3 on a troll seed that we've had, I mean, my goodness. The collection rate is gonna be astronomical.
nice spot to spin here. Ooh. Just needed one more spin to get out of that phase. Alright, DT is almost out of magic. I believe he's got some potions for backup, though.
Yeah, I think he still has that blue potion from Pod, actually. Or from Blind's Hut.
Alright, on to phase 4. Just getting the torches lit. And this could be a... Ooh, close to the triple. And this'll do it. Ganon goes down.
Wow, get your GGs in the chat for an extremely trolly seed.
DT the Legend pulling it off with an official time of 2 hours, 52 minutes, and 27 seconds. Congratulations. Hopefully we'll get DT in here to talk about that. My goodness. That was
And just a friendly reminder to throw some love to your runners today. They put on a fantastic show. This was an extremely trolly seed, and both of them have just done an exquisite job in trying to take down the troll. So we will make sure to remind them that Cubs rolled this seed, not either one of us, as we wish them the best of luck. In the name of DT, we'll be moving on in the tournament. Unfortunately, this is the end of the road for Arborelia, but wow, did she put on a good show for everyone as well. So be sure to show them some love.
Well, it looks like Arborelia has decided to call it here. Not really wanting to go look for the rest of this, but yeah, we should be getting at least some of our runners in for an interview soon. And we are now joined by the winner of today's race in the name of DT. Congratulations on dealing with that mess.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Thank you. How you doing, Dr. Bob, Jinxie?
Hello. I would just like, for the record, we did not roll this seed. It was Cubs roll.
Oh, that's fine. The first two, here's my thought about it. The first 2 hours were just an absolute hunt
And we
for
are now joined
basically anything,
by the
and the
winner
last hour was
of
actually
today's
really,
race in the
really
name of
exciting
DT.
and really, really fun.
Congratulations. Today's race in the name of DT. Yeah, I agree. That was
mess.
basically how it went.
Yeah,
The
that's one way to
opening
put
was
it.
just
Thank you.
a
How you doing,
slog
Dr.
to
Bob,
find
Jinxie?
whatever you could possibly scrape
I
through
would just
with,
like,
and then toward the end, you could finally get some progression there. It did help there that DT, you actually sequence broke Ganon's tower, because the last thing that our friend Arborelia needed was the flippers, which you needed the cane to get to. Also,
no.
we are joined by Arborelia.
Hi.
Congratulations on getting this far in the tournament, and so sad you couldn't make it through, but
Yeah, that was a kind of crazy logic seed. All right, so what was the sequence break in Ganon's tower?
so DT just went ahead and bomb jumped his way over to the left side where he got the cane and
Oh yeah.
got a bunch of stuff, and then the
Okay.
cane actually led to the flippers, which were on the right side, or the torch room locked area of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, all right. Makes me wish I had learned that bomb jump. But yeah. That was some really interestingly convoluted logic.
Yeah, and then knowing, I'm not sure, I don't believe that you checked that tablet up at the top of the ether tablet, but there was actually a sword there,
Huh.
which unfortunately we couldn't get because we didn't have the master sword. So
Right.
it was sword go mode for In the Name of DT, who had his 7 crystals but had to continue searching to try and find his sword so that he could finish
wow.
out the game. Yeah, it was something.
Wow. Wait, where was it? Where was the second sword?
Sick Kid.
Sick Kid
Over
from
in the dark shopping mall.
Wow.
Dark World Ice Rod Cave, that one.
Wow.
I was, like, toward the end there, when I was just hunting for the sword, I was really hoping to find the Meyer Shed, because that's 2 quick checks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was just going to, like, location-dense places, and it's like,
I think one of our runners found Meyer Shed.
I mean, I know I didn't.
Yeah,
can
I
tell you that
definitely
much.
marked it off. I believe Arborelia did find it.
Yeah,
It was rather early too, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, the only 2-item check we never found, I believe, was the Waterfall Fairy.
Oh, yeah, we didn't see that either. Definitely saw a Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy was super early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only 2 I didn't have marked off was K45 and Waterfall Fairy, and then Catfish, of course.
So I would have been wrong, but what I felt like I would do after finishing Swamp there was actually go check the Turtle Rock main entrance and the GT entrance in case those are a sword, so then I can get tempered off of Ether.
Mm-hmm.
See,
I did learn that the GT entrance was Cold B.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I don't
Yeah,
even
I'd kind of considered that, Doc. But then I thought that getting to the Turtle Rock entrance, getting to GT, is a bit more time than I wanted to spend at that point.
Yeah, and there were also quite a bit of entrances over there at the Dark Lake Hylia stuff as well.
Yeah, because all of the progression in this came so late. I didn't get the first glove until the top of GT, and then I think second glove was even locked behind that because of where Misery Mire was. Well,
Yeah, I mean, second
I don't
glove
remember
was-
where mitts were. Doesn't even matter.
Second glove was in Spike Cave.
Spike Cave, which is still locked behind a glove.
Exactly.
It works.
Oh, you didn't need the second glove? Oh, wow.
No, you needed it because
Okay.
you had to get over to Mire area to get to the dam.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
To get to the dam, and Thieves Town
Right.
was over there as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know. It was. I mean, the way that entrance is, this seed proves. I mean, it's just one of many that proves how volatile this mode can be.
Mhm.
Where you make one extra check and it sends you down a completely different rabbit hole. Like when I was in the Dark World near the bomb shop and Hype Cave, I was a screen or 2 away from the swamp where I think I died.
Yeah,
And
you
then it took
died
me-
right outside of Hype Cave, and
Mhm.
we were like, "Oh no, he's gonna take forever to get the
Yeah.
bow in the mirror."
Yeah, because at that point it's like I don't feel like making my way all the way back here, so I spent
Yeah.
at least another 15, maybe 20 minutes doing other stuff. And then when I finally got back, it's like, oh, there's the bow, there's the mirror, there's the whole game in this place.
Yeah. And yeah, so did Logic want us to go up Ganon's tower with no sword?
I believe so, actually.
Would it have been without a sword, though, or could we have gotten the one in pod first?
The one in pod required the hook shot, technically.
And the hook shot was locked behind the Titan's mitt.
Because
Sure.
one of the pod keys was locked behind the cane, which was locked behind the hook shot, logically.
Oh, gosh. Pod key logic is so confusing as it is. I'm trying to think, how does hookshot logically block anything? But then you add Keysanity, and it's... I'm glad you can follow it. I certainly can't. I just go to where I have keys for.
Yeah, I think technically the first sword that might have been in logic might have been Sick Kid.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Which is straight dumb. So yeah, and arborelia. So early on, we had this dichotomy between the two of you. In the DT, we said he died outside a hype cave and missed out on Blind's hut there for a while. And we were wondering when you were going to get back in and grab the big chest of desert. That was what we were wondering there.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Because we know you went back into desert at one point once you found the thing. Just forgot you had the big key, I think.
I guess I must have. Yeah, I was just using it as a connector or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. And that would have made a big difference.
But yeah, it was pretty close. You guys both got the glove within a few minutes probably less than a minute of each other.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's cool. I'm
All
glad that on something as wacky and wild and volatile as this seed was, that there were still instances where we were like neck and neck and kind of doing the same thing. Because that's always fun to see. Like with Crossworld, with entrants in general, you don't expect to see people in the same areas at the same time, just because there's so many different options. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were both also doing Misery Mire at the same time.
Yeah.
Some pretty solid convergence there.
Yeah. I kind of measure entrance by the number of big mistakes that I make, and I'd say the two are that I forgot the desert item for a while, and that I forgot I didn't have the pod big key and went for the boss.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to mention that, but yeah, it was a So, can we talk for a second about that Eastern Palace early on?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. What about it?
How often do you expect the big key to Eastern to be in Eastern, and it lead to immediate progression?
Yeah, that was nice.
Almost never. You're going to have to remind me, though. My memory of these is just absolutely blurred anytime I play one. So what did we find there?
So the flute was in the first chest, the big key was in the next chest, and then the moon pearl was in the big chest.
That's right.
Yeah,
that was a good
whole
place.
ton of stuff early on.
Yep.
I had it in the back of my mind, too, for quite a while to go back and make that one of my sword-looking locations, because Armos and Green Pendant, it's like it wouldn't have taken that long, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, your opponent did go ahead and finish that, and whole lot of Garbo, as far as I recall. I think there was a map and a green pendant, which gave you the just a red rupee on Saha.
That sounds about normal. Cool.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So yeah, this has been a great tournament. So thanks to everyone who's making it work.
All right. Any other last words from our runners before we wrap things up?
Just a GG to Arborelia. Looking forward to watching this back. It was fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had fun too.
I did. And GG, DT.
Thank you.
All right.
And Doc Bob, Jinxie, thanks for commentating. Not sure who was tracking, but thank you. Cubs, thanks for restreaming.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting on such a great show. It was truly a pleasure watching. I'm sorry it was so trolly, but you definitely did a great job. Very nice. GG's.
All right. And once again, I want to thank both of our runners, DT and Arborelia, for putting on an excellent show. I want to thank our trackers who were Bleeding Blue 11, Norinato and Cubs Rule 21 as well. And Cubs Rule setting up the restream here as well. And, of course, I want to thank my co-commentator, Jinxa Girl. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Likewise, always a pleasure hanging out with you, Dr. Bob.
All right, and with that, it's time to sign off. So I will just say that I have been Dr. Bob Task, and thank you all so much for watching. See you later.